Okay, Lee Mason, Leicester, Southampton. Southampton became winners, and I mean, and only a few weeks ago to get pumped 9-0 at home.
Yeah.
To say great game on this one from their point of view. But do you know what? Lee Mason, we praised a few weeks ago. Then he had that game at Newcastle, and then here he is showing off again. He's like, his effort was unbelievable, and the thing is, there was loads in the game. It was a full-on game. This particular one on here. So this one on here is there's the offside, and he gives the penalty because, correctly so, they've played on.
Yep.
Yeah, then it's a penalty.
Correct.
Now, question
and correct
for you.
with the penalty.
Yeah, correct with the penalty. Gives a yellow card for the penalty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it comes back and it's offside, so we go the offside. Is that yellow card rescinded?
No, it will not be. And I think that's unfair.
Right.
So it should be rescinded, in my opinion. But I think it... You know, I get concerned about offside lines here.
Yeah.
I get concerned because visually... We're not questioning that offside.
Yeah.
We're saying it's offside.
Yeah.
We can see it visually.
Yeah.
Get rid of the lines.
Yeah.
Do it as the MLS, and we'll have less controversy.
So, well, the interesting, what I wanted to do here as well, especially for young referees, if there's a bit here where he's broke through, now this was a very quick break, so even though he looks away, this ball was a superb ball through on there. But why is he not running towards the ball? The ball's here, he's running that way.
He's doing exactly the right thing. He's moving out wide to get himself an angle. And that's a judgment.
Yeah.
And your cognitive skills as a referee have to come into play. What is the next move? What's the likelihood of where the ball is going?
Yeah.
And that you then start adjusting your position. You adjust your position back there as you're moving.
Right.
And this is the part of the process that young referees have to evolve and improve upon.
Yeah.
It's an area where I have to say I watch a lot of North East Counties League games.
Yeah.
I've been impressed with some of the refereeing, some of the quality of referees. A kid from Manchester a couple of weeks ago at Penistone was superb, and he had a great performance, and he had it in front of Phil Jocelyn, one of these talent spotters.
Right.
So for me, he did the right thing.
Yeah.
But his all foundation of his game was his fitness and his movement. And you know,
that's risk versus reward, isn't it?
Absolutely.
The risk is he could actually come and get a sprint on, but he's too central. The reward for his gamble of going out wide is a great angle.
And the fact that, remember, that the guys on the line who are often criticised are really top class referees.
Yeah.
I mean, they're holding a flag, but they've got great experience. I mean, I watched Darren Can just run down the line this week, and I'm thinking, he's just as enthusiastic as day one. I watch Scott Ledger and I shake my head and say, why hasn't this guy ever been an international assistant referee? But you know, we have got some really talented top class assistant referees.
Well, I won't then, actually, you've just said that one. If I actually bring this particular picture in over here, so, oops, wrong one, let's go on that. On there, and bring that picture in over here. This was the equalising goal for Leicester, correctly ruled out by VAR afterwards. But the assistant here, Mr. West, why hasn't he spotted that normal time? Because, you know, when you look at that one there, and we've got a blue and a red line next to each other, we've got a gap here. Why ain't he spotting that in normal time? It's a dead ball situation.
Well, the first thing to say is look at his brilliant position.
Yeah.
He's facing the pitch. He's bang in line with the second rearmost player. Therefore, he's ideally positioned to make that judgment. One can only say, had he been asked to hold the flag down, or had he asked to hold the flag up? And I tell you that I think there's a degree of confusion.
Yeah.
I think the whole scenario about do you put your flag up, do you keep it down, difficult.
Yeah.
And difficult for international assistant referees when they do one thing in Europe and then have to do a different scenario here in the UK.
I wanted to bring this one in, bit more of a learning type of scenario on here, because I'm going to openly say I did this on Saturday morning. Okay, player took a shot, beautiful shot, going to nestle in the bottom corner. It bounces just before, but then spins and hits the post. And I'm actually stood there, flat-footed, watching it. Then I watched Lee Mason because this is where Danny Ings has hit the crossbar. The ball's already gone. It's been all the way up. It's come all the way down, and he's not moved yet. This is the difference between why I ain't any higher, and probably Lee's where he's going to be, and your Michael Olivers and all that, because they already know that there's another danger happening. Why do we stand flat-footed when we hit the crossbar or something? Do we admire the shot?
I call it the spectator syndrome.
Yeah.
And when I coach referees, I say, look, you're not there to watch the game and enjoy all the shots on goal and all those sorts of scenarios.
Yeah.
What's happening next?
Yeah.
And that's where you need your cognitive skills. And, you know, in fairness to Lee, he might be thinking he's seeing a player coming on,
Yeah.
or he's seeing a potential, that ball coming back into the area, so he's going to save his energy.
Yeah.
You know,
Because he has got an assistant on that side.
Yeah.
But I will say this for any grassroots ref out there: next time a player hits the crossbar, have a gauge of how long it takes you to move to the next bit. I'd be really intrigued.
beyond your balls of your feet.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm ready
important
to
bit.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
Davy Coote, Everton game, okay, at weekend, alright. So, now I did a video about this the other day, because that to me is a foul. Anywhere on the pitch it's a foul, because it's in the area, it's a penalty. However, the game goes on, Theo Walcott gets his shot away at goal. So for me, you can't come back and give a second bite at the cherry, because you've missed your shot. If you've missed that shot, you're then going to say, well, hang on, here you go, I'll give you a second chance. But you disagree on this.
Well, I disagree on first of all, it's a penalty.
Yep.
So David, unusually for him so far this season,
Yeah.
has made an error.
Yeah.
And I think here, that's where VAR should have come in, and that's what VAR's for, to
Yeah.
say that's a penalty kick.
Yeah.
Now, he said it's not a penalty, and he applies an advantage.
Right.
Right. What advantage does is it allows you to see the outcome within a few seconds,
Yeah.
and then bring it back. There's
Yeah.
no, you know, I know you'll say, well, second bite of the cherry and all that goes with it. That's not the law. The law is very clear. Apply the advantage
Yeah.
if you wish, within a few seconds. If it doesn't materialise, that be a foul or whatever, pull it back
Yeah.
and give it.
Yeah,
The one
just say
thing,
there, allows play to continue when an offence occurs and a non-offending team will benefit from the advantage and penalises defence if the anticipated advantage does not ensure at the time within a few seconds.
great.
So,
But there is I'd just like to expand that a little more in terms of the education bit. Be very wary of applying an advantage on a card, either yellow, I would suggest red, never, but qualify it. If the next shot is going to go and the ball's going to end in the back of the net, apply it. Delay slightly,
yeah.
but generally on a card, don't apply advantage. Go safe refereeing, and that way you'll maintain control and not be at risk, particularly at grassroots level.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I watched the game on Saturday. I'm not going to say what the game was. I'm not going to criticise the referee, other than I felt the referee had forgotten, as I think some referees are forgetting, that the sin bin is in operation. The referee correctly cautioned a player on the game that I was watching. There was a lot of dissent after by this same player. He either gives him a second yellow, but he's got the option now of saying, right, I'm going to send you to the bin. Why, referees, are you failing to use the sin bin? It's there for your use. Don't just have it as a token. Use it.
Yeah, it's about having the tools. If you're in a situation in a game which running away from you, you've got the tools to bring it back. And if you're doing refereeing because you want to be popular, you're in the wrong job.
Absolutely. And, you know, I just sensed the referee couldn't have had that much enjoyment out of how players were getting on at him
Yeah.
and undermining his authority, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, no, it's a shame that. Okay, so we're going to move on from that. You've convinced me, by the way, that you are allowed 2 bites of the cherry.
You are.
Okay, you've convinced me.
Well, use it.
Okay, right, last screen is a very straightforward one, so I'm going to just move John. In fact, we'll mention John first, because John had the Manchester City game yesterday with Villa. It was 6-1. But there's no incidents to discuss in that, really.
Well,
but there is there's a big point that you want to make about refereeing a 6-1 game.
concentration
Yeah.
and effort. In fairness to John, and I'm his biggest critic, aren't I? I have been. in fairness, I think he's having a good run of form, and I think he demonstrated that. The ability to stay out and come in when appropriate, because I think he finished up with 6 yellow cards in this game, or a high number of yellow cards, all justified, all where they were beginning to question his authority, because the losing side suddenly started losing discipline.
Yeah.
But he was ahead of them.
Right.
John Moss was ahead of them, and a good sign of a good referee in this situation, where he does actually take a positive approach. He comes in when he's required to come in and maintains his authority, which he did. I thought he had a very good performance.
Which is
Another one.
Which is really, really good. But now we're going to go over to my number one ref, and I'm still sticking by it, which is Mike Dean.
I mean, you could say all this sort of light red wine and all that, as it ages, it gets better.
Yeah.
I don't think he takes anything for granted. His work rate and effort. I think he's a better referee now than when I bossed him and managed him in the past. I think he's improved over the years. He's got a personality. And you know, I was talking to someone in office on Saturday watching the same game as I was. And we talked, both of us, a former Premier League referee who I admired. And we said about this question of personality and how personality can get you out of jail on numerous occasions. This guy is respected both ways.
Yeah.
He respects the players respect him. He stays out of it. When he needs to come in, he comes in. And as I've already mentioned, Darren Can seems to be running the line for him on a regular basis. I hope he's not suffering from earache. But if he starts to drop off a bit, I know Darren Can, because I have listened in, he'll get onto him. So I think that pair and the other colleague on the other line, they keep him on his toes. And he's
really
delivering.
Good. But he's delivering something very special very soon.
Oh yeah. You know, if he happens to watch this programme, he's coming up to his 500th Premier League game.
That's phenomenal.
And I do hope that the Premier League will recognise that, because it is something that is very special.
Yeah.
And all his critics, and I've been one of his at times, when he switches off, I think he's been one of the greatest servants to the Premier League in refereeing over the years, and I thank him and wish him every success.
Now, I think that obviously we have our debates who's number one at the moment. Mine is Mike Dean, and to be coming up to his 500th game, I think is amazing. So, you know, a huge well done from that. I will say the footballing community.
Yes.
Because those 500 games have been well refereed, and I will say, you know, a huge well done. And I'm going to thank you, Keith, for joining me again this week.
Thank you.
And next week might be a little bit different due to the fact that we're off to the States for the conference at Baltimore, which will be really, really good. Yeah. But other than that, I'll just turn around and say, tweet us, please, any questions. We've had some really crackers over the last few weeks, and we've managed to actually answer them online. So please feel free to ask us, and we'll be in touch. Thank you very much.
Cheers.